Okay, so the class is being recorded, and this is EA300B, and this is me, Dr. Sameh Abdel Jalil. I'm based here in Jeddah, and I'll be teaching you the course. The course is Children's Literature. You have done Children's Literature 1, and now it's time for Children's Literature 2. It's going to be a very interesting journey, judging from your previous colleagues' experience about it, and you can always go back to them and see how much fun it was. So it's children's literature. This may be a little bit strange for you because we've been doing, I wouldn't call it adult literature because adult may have also negative connotations. So what we're used to is literature addressed to adults, mainstream literature, English literature to be more specific. And obviously the experience is different. This time around, it's avowedly children's literature that we're doing, and it primarily addresses children, but there is obviously more to it than just children, because the concerns and the themes that we're going to talk about and address are never childish, never infantile, I promise you. So the experience is or promises to be very interesting, I promise you. So what do you think? What's the difference, if any? Of course, up to this point, you are so used to mainstream literature, literature that is predominantly male, literature that is predominantly green or blue-eyed, English, I mean, or British, or yeah, that's this area that we call England and nowhere else, obviously. With A300B, we have shifted a little bit, and we went all the way to Ireland with James Joyce, if you have done James Joyce and Dublin's. So judging from our experience as people who consumed English literature, that is primarily addressing young adults or adults like me, and now we're having children's literature. You may have done children's literature as children, which means that somebody read something to you, or perhaps you were into the habit of reading children's literature when you were small kids. So let's reflect on the experience. What do you think we're headed for? If I say children's literature, what comes to your mind in terms of structure, perhaps, in terms of themes and ideas? Yalla, go ahead. Think. There is no wrong or right answer. We're debating something. So when the phrase children's literature is dropped, whatever you understand by this, yeah. Wafa, go ahead.
What comes to mind is more simplistic structure and simple language with maybe some lessons about life or morality to children.
Yeah. Well, this is perhaps a common impression. I'm afraid to say that this is a misconception because there is, like I said, more to children's literature than naivete, than pure, innocent fun and pleasure. There is obviously more to children's literature than that. Thank you so much, Wafa. Let's move to Leanne.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, you were
Um,
asking. Or you want to perhaps answer what we're asking.
yeah. Many, I think many stories have moral lessons for children to, uh, for example, that yeah, that um, some yeah, that children or small animals should not take dangerous adventures and listen to their parents
Yeah,
and
you're
others.
doing an excellent job. You're trying to say that there is much moralizing. It is children's literature is meant to give moral lessons. Yeah, I understand and I appreciate the fact that children are in their formative years. They are taking things in, and of course, you try to make sure that whatever they take in is full of principles and morality. Do this and don't do that. Thank you so much, Diane. You're doing an excellent job. Anas,
Yes, doctor.
yeah, you're raising your hand.
Yes, I have a short answer. The first
Yeah.
thing comes to our minds when I hear or study English literature.
Mhm.
When I hear children literature, excuse me, the first thing comes to our mind is I think uh, the rules putting by the adults to the children.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very interesting insight. Again, it also comes under the
even in a
idea of
story
more
on,
moralizing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you, Anas. Mariam?
Yes, I think there are some hidden agendas in the children literature throughout the years, like entire years, not only this period.
You mean I don't understand, or I don't quite understand what you
It's
mean by
like an
hidden
education.
agendas.
It's a way
Oh.
to educate
Mm-hmm.
children
Mm-hmm.
and like guide them through certain ways
Mm-hmm.
that benefit the agenda of the s- community or society.
Yeah, that's yeah, it's the idea of, you know, you know, literature can be one of the society's institutions, like a religion, like school. You also have children, I mean, literature or children's literature to be more specific, and through which you can like communicate whatever rules, whatever norms you would like the children to embrace and have. This is what you're trying to say, Mariam, right? This is the
Yes,
hidden
absolutely.
agenda that, yeah, okay, thank you so much. Alia, go ahead.
Yes. Hi, hi,
Yeah,
doctor. How are you?
hi, how are you?
I'm fine. When I heard children literature, let's be more specific. We are talking about dramas, songs, short stories, more than short stories. Let's be more specific. So we the term explained adventures, fairy tales, morals, lessons. It, we want to, it tells us to know what kinds of stories we will tell the children, what kind of things that we will encourage them to do, or what other things that we don't want them to do it in life. So this is what the ideas comes to my mind.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's yeah, there is a measure of adventure in them because I remember this is we're talking about kids and for kids, and obviously they have this fancy free kind of world where uh, I mean their imagination is free, and they want people who address them to also give them um, something that would verge and border into the world of fantasy, where the impossible is possible, where you have to suspend your disbelief. Let's Anas, can I ask you to drop your hand, please? Please drop your hand. Let's talk about the last or the latest children's literature book that you have read, or that perhaps somebody read to you. Yeah, Rania, please mute your mic. Again, I'm talking about the latest or perhaps the last children's book that you still remember as a reader, or as somebody, I mean, somebody came up and read it to you. Wafa?
Uh, the last book I read is the book written in English, but I read it in Arabic, so I'm not quite sure
That's
about
fine. I
the
mean, the language is
title of the
irrelevant.
book.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm not quite sure about the title. So, but
Mm.
it's The Young Prince or The Small Prince. I don't know which.
By whom? Can you do you still remember the title in Arabic?
Yes, Al-Amir al-Saghir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it anonymous, or does it have a writer?
No, The Little Prince. The Little Prince.
Okay.
Uh,
Is it Al-Amir al Is it a translated piece of work, or is it
yes,
originally? Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay. Thank you. Can we have Lujain?
Yes, doctor.
Yes,
But
go
I want
ahead.
to say something about the Amir al-Saghir.
Yeah, please.
Actually, it's a translated book from French to English.
Nice.
The writer
Good.
is D. Alexander or something like that. Antoni,
Mhm.
Antoni. Yes.
Nice.
Actually, the last children book I read is Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens.
Which is not quite, I don't know where to categorize, those Charlotte Dickens books, because obviously you're not talking about a child, you're talking about, perhaps, I wouldn't say even a boy, because they are somewhere in the middle, right? They are not young adults yet, and they are not too small or too young for us to call them children. But Oliver Twist can be categorized as such. Tell us about the experience. Yeah, Lujay.
Did you mean the characters and the
Uh,
story?
yeah, you read it, or you had it read for you because you were a small kid, perhaps.
Could you please repeat your question, doctor?
I mean, my question is, did you read it yourself, or perhaps you were small and somebody read it for you?
No, no, I read it.
Okay. This was when?
I read it by myself.
Nice, good. Okay. طيب, let's move to Mariam Abdullah.
Yes. So
Yeah,
my last literature, children literature book was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by
nice.
J.K. Rowling.
Mm-hmm.
My experience, I saw the movie first when I
Mm-hmm.
was little,
Mm-hmm.
and I cried the whole day. And after reading the book, I felt nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
But the details took me to another like dimension. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
was
I mean, tell me about this idea of taking you to new heights and new dimensions. How?
yeah, because J.K. Rowling, she's a master in like creating a different world that you never thought in your dreams even.
Mm-hmm.
So reading through the book, it was like a dream come true, but a dream that I never had, something
Mm-hmm.
that I've never experienced in my entire life. So
Nice.
that is why I
Is it
said
about,
it took me to another dimension that I've never
yeah,
like experienced.
yeah,
Yes.
is it, can we consider it escapist literature? Because perhaps you're
Yes,
trying to
absolutely.
escapist in a negative sense.
No, I think it's pretty awesome لأنه Hogwarts school is يعني is a wizard like or wizardy vibe يعني. I know in Islam it's not يعني it's haram, but
Mhm.
basically it's like a fantasy world.
Mm. So you like this. This is perhaps part of your nature and your character. You like to
Yes,
kind of
absolutely.
fly away from the here and the now, right?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Nice, very good. Alia?
Yes, doctor. My last children literature book was I didn't finish yet, but it's Little Women.
This
I
was part of what you did in EA300A, right?
no, I didn't take the subject the course
Oh,
yet.
nice.
I took the both courses with in this semester. But
Mm,
I mean that I saw the movie, the
mm,
2019 version. So I
mm,
like the movie. I like the ideas in it. I love the little girls, what they think, what they have experienced in life, about
mm,
dreams, about beliefs, about desires. And I like the idea that I want to read it and want to tell my little sisters about it. So
mm.
I read like 13 or 14 chapters from
Nice.
47 chapters. It's a
Mm.
long story. I
That's
didn't
fine.
finish
You're
it.
halfway through, mashallah. You're halfway through. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Alia. Okay, so whether you spoke about your experiences with children's literature and children's fiction, let's agree on the basic principles. Let's agree on common features, things that you have seen repeated in those children's literature books. Let's perhaps focus more on fiction, whether small stories or long novels. So, what are some of the common features, whether you have shared your experience with us or not? What do you think? What are the common characteristics, things that you see repeated in children's fiction and novels and stories
Moral
and tales?
lessons.
Yeah, let's take them one
Interesting
at a
villains.
time. Yeah, and I'll give you space. Raise your hand and I'll allow you to come to the mic and share with us. Leanne.
That several uh, chil- several stories in a children's literature field have any the end of the several stories are about happiness forever, like Snow White and and many other princess يعني.
Yeah, there is a closure, and the closure is normally happy. They live happily ever after. This is what you're trying to say, right? There
Yes,
is a reconciliation. So, along the way, there are complications, but those complications get resolved towards the end of the story so that everybody is happy eventually, right? Leanne, are you trying to say this?
yes.
Mumtaz, thank you so much. Chad, am I pronouncing your name correct? Chad? Chad,
No,
not
Shahad,
Chad.
Shahad.
Chad, yeah,
I
hi,
think
Chad.
innocence and the passion, it's always common in children literature.
Innocence and
And
what?
passion.
Passion. You mean passion means two young people falling in love with each other and something
No,
like this?
I mean being exciting.
Yeah, there is
Excitement, sorry.
excitement. Yeah, you mean the idea that you have perhaps cliffhanging situations, suspense.
Yes.
You're kept always in awe. You don't know what will happen next. This is what you're trying to say.
Yes, that's what I would admire.
Yeah, Shah. Thank you so much, Shah. Wafa.
What I have personally noticed from children's literature is that the protagonists are usually most most of the time children or at the stage of coming of age, and usually the struggle has a theme of coming of age. a struggle that comes with it.
Yeah, the idea of coming of age, the fact that they start off very perhaps naive, not aware of what happens around them in the world, and over time they grow mentally and intellectually and even emotionally, right? So there is a great deal of growth involved over time. They go through hardships, they struggle, but the end is obviously different from the beginning. The people that we meet at the end are totally different from the people that we meet. I mean, they are obviously the same people, but perhaps at the end they are more mature, more knowledgeable about the ways of the world. Is this what you're trying to say, Yawafa?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. Zuhur.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead.
the children literature, it always developed the children imagination with the many different scenes and events and fairy things. So I like it about the children literature.
Nice. Very good. Thank you, Zuhur. Let's go back to our question. We're talking about common features, things that we feel get repeated every time we read a children's literature book. Mariam wanted to say something. Mariam Abdullah.
Yes, I noticed that evil people in children literature, they
Mm,
have unjustified motives. Like it's the opposite to the adult literature. You know, evil people have motives and they, يعني, you see the good side of them.
mm,
Like there is no absolute evil in adult literature.
literature. Mm,
Yes.
yeah,
However,
that's
in children,
mm,
you notice that the evil characters are always evil and they are always destroyed or يعني خلاص they have
for
nothing
you
to
mean
do
they are
more with the
evil for
story.
not they are evil pure there is pure evil coming out of them and for no obvious reasons. Are you trying to say
Yes.
this?
Or let's
Nice.
say no motivation or psychological motivations. So
They are
it is just
molded
because they
as
want to like move the story because they
ah
want to teach the child the moral lesson of this
yeah,
situation.
yes. Perhaps this is one reason why we as adults don't get convinced sometimes.
Yes, yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Okay. Anas, you're raising your hand. Are you raising your hand?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, go ahead.
I always notice that there are always good character or evil character in every
Hmm.
story, and there
Yeah,
is often wisdom in the story.
mashallah. Yeah, that's interesting. These are very nice observations, and they are true. Thank you, Anas. Nice, very good. Okay, so we know a bit about children's literature. I think we're safe. We know a lot. Perhaps the only difference would be that we're going to introduce you to new books, novels, and stories that you haven't read before. And we're going to also introduce you to a new kind, at least to me, it was new. Perhaps it's not new to you. A new kind of children's literature that we call picture books. Are you familiar with picture books?
Of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
Yes. Um,
Yes.
this is part of the effort. Actually, this is what we're starting with. We're starting with two picture books, and then we make the transition to novels, to full-fledged novels. Novels in the manner of the novels that we're used to, except for the fact that they have children's concerns and the characters are children for the most part. So I'll now share the course calendar, our roadmap, and let's see how we're going to divide the efforts over the 12 or 13 weeks that we will have together, inshallah. Let me share. Can you see the course calendar?
Yes.
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, okay. So this is EA300B, and this is the course study calendar as we agreed. How many weeks do we have? We have a minimum of 12 weeks. So of course, we're discounting exams, whether we're talking about quizzes, whether we're talking about midterms and finals. They can be a little bit more than that. Let's see. Okay. So where are we now? We are in the introduction part where we're introducing the course, and this is week 1. Of course, you know that we meet once a week, and it's Monday at 10 a.m. We're going to start with the introduction, which is obviously week 1, and then we move on to week 2, where we're doing again introductions to pictured books, what makes them perhaps different from novels and stuff. We'll talk about that. And of course, you know, with picture books, the focus would be on images and pictures. And actually, the I wouldn't be very accurate if I say the focus is on images, because it's a balance that we're trying to strike between the picture and the text. But perhaps for the first time, the picture is now occupying center stage. It's not in the peripheral anymore. It's not uh, um, as marginalized as it used to. In order for you to fully understand and appreciate a picture book, you need to pay equal attention to the picture, as we're going to see. So this is going to be week 2, starting to look at images in children's books, and we'll have a number of secondary sources that we have to read. We're going to read Sharon Goodman's introduction to the whole section, words and pictures. Of course, it wouldn't be enough to kind of stop there. We'll have more to talk about, and we're going to actually start talking about the first picture book that we have, which is The Tale of Peter Rabbit. In weeks 3, 4, and 5, we're going to do a number of activities, and part of them would be discussing The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrice Potter, in and out. And of course, on the sidelines of that, we're going to read a number of secondary sources. One of them is William Mabus' picture book codes. And then we have Sharon Goodman's introduction to The Tale of Peter Rabbit, Margaret Mackay, Peter Rabbit, Potter's Story, Peter Hollendale, Aesop and the Shadows, and Carol Scott, Perspective and Point of View in The Tale of Peter Rabbit. And of course, the text itself, discussing it, analyzing it, breaking it to its basic components. And when we're done with that, this is going to take weeks 3, 4, and 5. Starting from perhaps week 4, we're going to go to another picture book, which is Voices in the Park by Anthony Brown. And we're going to also decode this picture book and talk about its different codes and different elements. And we're going to read a very interesting article that concerns this kind of picture book, which is Pete Goldstone, Postmodern Experiments. And of course, we're going to read the text, the picture book, and we're going to analyze it like we do with the other one. And then we will have in the middle we'll have quiz 1, and quiz 1 is going to be online, and we're going to agree on the time and the material involved. And then we'll move to, uh, um, and this is also going to be part of our preparation for the midterm. The midterm is going to normally cover the two picture books together with The Other Side of Truth by Beverly Naidu. And this is going to be weeks, perhaps 5, 6, and 7. Again, in the middle, you will have the MTA, and the midterm is going to also include The Other Side of Truth. Again, we're going to read the novel under the banner of socially committed children's fiction. And we're going to do a number of reading, secondary sources, and Haugens and Nicola J. Watson introduction. Introduction, of course, to Beverly Naidu's and her novels. Beverly Naidu, a writer's journey, retracing the other side of truth. And this is an article that the author herself wrote it. And then Jana Giles, what is the other side of truth? And of course, the text itself, and we're going to also analyze it and talk about its different themes and ideas. A very interesting read, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, and full of violence and bathos and everything in between. Again, we're doing the midterm, and the other side of truth is going to be part of that. And then when we're done with the midterm, we'll have Tom's Midnight Garden remaining by Philippa Pierce. Again, the focus would be on the importance of the real and the power of the fantastic and the power of fantasy and the imagination. And again, we're going to read a number of secondary sources: Heather Montgomery Introduction, Ronnie Natov, Tom's Midnight Garden, Maria Nikolijeva, Midnight's Garden, Magic Wells, and Ruston's Lonely Dreaming and Discovery, Tom's Midnight Garden. And with Tom's Midnight Garden, we conclude the course. So this promises to be a very interesting set of works. I'm sure you're going to like them. You're going to be engaged with them. You're going to find them much fun, and they are going to also be very serious, asking all the questions, or perhaps answering all the questions you may have about life, about the imagination, and we'll ask all the kinds of questions. So do you have any questions about the course calendar?
Yes, Doctor, I have.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to make sure that the readers, we want to read another version of the story, or it's a criticizer's version of vision.
I'm not sure I understand the question here, Alia.
Okay, I will read it. In the course calendar, there is a reader, right?
Yes.
So the reader, the ones who wrote another version, or their opinion about the story. So we will study their opinions, or we will study another version of the story itself.
No, readers means that you have a number of articles that you have to read and study very well, because they back up whatever arguments you start when talking about those kinds of works. So this is what we call the secondary sources, whether they are written by one single author or a number of authors. This is, of course, together with the primary sources. And the primary sources, like we said, are the texts themselves. Okay, so how many texts do we have so far? We have 4.
Okay.
And right? What are they? We have The Tale of Peter Rabbit, we have Voices in the Park, we have The Other Side of Truth, and Tom's Midnight Garden. Okay, so
Okay.
where my
Sorry, Dr.
second,
Sameh, for interrupting, but
yeah,
please can you repeat the texts that are with us?
yeah,
Peter Rabbit
uh,
and what also?
yes, okay, Ghadir. So we're
Thank you.
talking about the Tale of Peter Rabbit. We're talking about Voices in the Park, The Other Side of Truth, and Tom's Midnight God. Okay, so those are the primary sources. This is what we're going to start with. We're going to read them, and then we discussions and and details about them can also be gleaned out from the secondary sources. The second sources are views and opinions about the themes and the ideas and the plots. And of course, by now, you know what a secondary source is. And of course, you know that a secondary source is as important as the primary source. But our point of departure, like always, is the primary source. And I keep stressing the fact that you shouldn't take up a secondary source unless and until you have finished the primary source. Read the novel first or read the picture book first and then go to the secondary source so that you don't get influenced by whatever is said about the novel or the picture book. You need to come up with your own conclusions before you read the conclusions of others, right? So
Right.
where can I find the primary sources? Where can I also find the secondary source? I think I have a place for that. Let me see. So this is the place that I'm keeping for you. As you can see, you have EA300B, and let's just focus on EA300B. When you click it, you have a Pandora's box of material awaiting you. Okay, so as you can see, we have a number of folders. One of them is Voices in the Park, the other is Tom's Midnight Garden, The Tale of Peter Rabbit, and The Other Side of Truth, and a folder that I call General. What do we have in the General one? As you can see, you have all the textbooks that you need. Let's start with what are we starting with? I think we're starting with the Tale of Peter Rabbit, right? So let's click it and see what will come out. So I hope it opens today. Yeah, this is the primary source. This is the textbook. Can you see it?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is
Mm,
interesting.
Yes.
yeah, it
It's
is.
cute. Cute.
Yeah, yes.
Uh,
So now you know where to find it, and then when we finish, we go to Voices in the Park. I don't know whether this is the text itself or not. Let's go and see. Yeah, it is also the text. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
this is the second one, and then we move on to what do we have? Number 3. We
The
have
other side of truth.
The Other Side of Truth. For some reason, it's not here, but I
Um,
have it somewhere in the folder. Unless you can see it, and I cannot see it. I am an old man. So,
no, it's not there. It's
No,
not there.
it's
no,
not there.
we'll find it somehow. And the fourth one is Tom's Midnight Garden. Let's open it. This is a novel, a very interesting one. Yeah, this is a novel. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so you have it also. Let's move. And then you have a very interesting book that has all the articles, the secondary source, children's literature. Um, um, yeah, this is the one. Yeah. Of course, this is a seminal book. It's so big. It's a collection of articles on children's literature. Of course, we're not going to read it all. We're going to only focus on the things that we're doing. For example, we have um,
Doctor,
Beatrice
this book
Potter.
is a book that we used to take with the EA300A.
Nice. Yeah, you took a number of articles because they cover what you have taken
Oh,
with
okay.
EA. For example, you didn't do The Tale of Peter Rabbit, right? So Beatrice
No, no,
Potter. So you have a number of articles here.
yeah.
Introduction, Peter Rabbit. Can you see that? Is it clear enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, nice. So we're doing this, and then we move down, and we also have Philippa Pierce, Tom's Midnight Garden, right? Obviously, you didn't do that, right? And when you move down, we have uh, Radical Agendas, Beverly Knights is the other side of truth. And you have the introduction, you have a writer's journey, retracing the other side of truth by Beverly Naidu herself. And what is the other side of truth? What is left would be Tom's Midnight Garden, which I don't know, well, it should be here somewhere. If you have seen it and I haven't, please let me know. Ah, yes, this is the one, right? Philippa Pierce's Tom Midnight Garden, and then the number of articles that we will cover together with it. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
clear.
Yes.
nice. So what do we need now? I think we need to share the folder before I forget, right? No, this is not what I want. How can I share it? I think you need copy. So I'll go and put it in the chat.
Thank you.
I don't know what happened. Click it and see whether it will open with you or not. Let's try it. It's in the chat area.
Anna, it worked with me. I opened
ممتاز
it.
ممتاز مبروك يا غدير.
It worked for me as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
for me
Ghadir,
also.
yeah, nice. Ghadir, did I teach you something before? Your voice is recognizable. Did I teach you something before?
No, I don't think so. No, it's my
Okay.
first time with you.
Yeah, it's my
Maybe
pleasure, of course.
second grade in my university, but I can't remember.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, did it open with everyone?
Yes, doctor.
ممتاز, alhamdulillah. Thank you. طيب. So what are we starting with? As you can see, we're starting with voices. I'm sorry, the Tale of Peter Rabbit. And how much do we know about the Tale of Peter Rabbit?
I watched the
Uh,
movie.
okay, Zuhur. Are you
Me too.
Zahur or Zuhur? Let me check
Good.
that I get it right. Zuhur, right?
Yeah.
Zuhur. Yes, go ahead, yeah, Zuhur.
Yeah,
You
I
you
watched.
said that nice.
It was nice, really nice. But when I read the story, it's really short and not the same as the movie.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously you're talking when you talk about a movie, so you need to reconsider authorship. And obviously with movies, you now have another author who
Yeah.
is the director, who ha who has his or her own vision. And obviously, when it comes to adapting, a story um, to the cinema, it has to get bigger. They have to include. I'm trying to say that there is no total correspondence between the original text and whatever happens in the movie, because we have another author in the movie who happens to be the director, who has his or her own vision, like I said, his or her own way of tackling issues, downplaying some, exaggerating some. And of course, the director has the box office in mind while doing it. So it can be more suspenseful, it can be more popular, more appealing. So that's what makes it bigger and longer. Thank you, Zahur. Let's have other people. Um, Whether you guys have done it at one point, read it, watched it, a movie as a movie, or perhaps it was
What is it,
read to
doctor?
you.
And I
Excuse me.
don't know the whole story, but like I have a summary on it. I guess it's a story that it's talking about a young rabbit who's named
Mm.
Peter, and he disobeys his mother, and he sneaks to his neighbor gardens to eat the vegetables, and then the whole story is talking about how you will face consequences of not following the rules of your mother, and like this. I
Yeah,
think
that's
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
yeah. What you're saying is correct
It's
and
the
accurate.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Ghadir.
Welcome.
Uh, Rania, Rania Lafi.
Yes, doctor. Some stories I watch the movie with more events and more characters, and it is not like reading.
Mm. Yeah, you're talking about the Tale of Peter Rabbit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's different, yes. Leanne?
I think that the tale of Peter Rabbit is similar. يعني the story has some similarities between it, and yeah, there are some similarities between it and the old song, or the old nasheed in طيور الجنة channel. لا, yeah, between the young rabbit and its mother when the fox chased him later.
Yeah,
There are some
it's yeah, they are similar. Again, you need to always remember that there are common denominators, if you like, that would bind most of the show, I mean, the children's books. I mean, you would have this boy who is not very obedient. He goes out of his way and does stuff, goes into risky trips and journeys and adventures. And then he emerges out victorious, more knowledgeable, more mature. You would have this common thread uh, um, every now and then in those picture books and children's literature books. Nice. Any other ideas? I mean, when I say the tale of Peter Rabbit, does it ring any bells at the back of your minds? Anyone and everyone?
Uh, I didn't read the novel or the story, but I think it reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, the rabbit.
You mean Alice herself is
I know the
or
rabbit,
correspond? Okay. In what sense?
in the sense that he came to her garden and like he ran away from the Wonderland,
Mm,
and she followed him back, and he bring the consequence, with him to the Wonderlands.
nice. Okay. Somebody was raising her hand. I don't remember. Aisha, I think. Aisha, are you raising your hand?
Yes, Doctor. I was gonna
Yeah.
say the exact same thing that Miriam said. It reminded me of Alice in the Wonderland.
Nice. Okay, good. Um, Leanne, you're raising your hand again. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think, according to each, according to these four stories, which one is the most interesting for you? What do you think?
I'll answer this question at the end because I don't want to spoil it for you. If I say something because I'm your teacher and because I am like your father and you like me, you're going to get influenced by what I'm going to say. And I don't want you, I would like you to have your independent judgments. How about that? Do you understand me, Alain?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk. Remind me of this question at the end. We have four books, and we're going to vote at the end, like I always do, as which of them is your favorite, which of them is you think is the best. Keep this question for us, Yalain. Okay, so interesting. Like I said, we are in for a lot of fun, for a lot of serious debate and discussion. Um, okay, so I don't know. I don't want to spoil it. What I intend to do, perhaps for 5 minutes, when we come back from the break, I would like to show you, because obviously this is not going to be your final reading of the picture book, but perhaps if you take like 5 to 10 minutes reading it, we can engage in discussions about it, because I don't want to impose my views on you. I don't want to finish everything, all the debates. Of course, you haven't read it yet, so you're going to subscribe to whatever I'm saying, which is something that I don't want. I would like you to contribute input. So when we come back from the break, we're going to take perhaps a 10-minute break, and then we come back. I will have you read the picture book from my screen. Remember, it's a picture book. That's why it has half of it is pictures. That's why the reading is going to be quick. And then from whatever you can pick out, we can start discussions. Uh, um, so let's take a 10-minute break and then come back and we start this lovely journey. Yalla, I'll see you in 10 minutes, inshallah.
Okay.
Yalla, bye bye. يلا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I'm back. Are we all back, everyone?
I'm here.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
doctor, we're here.
Yes,
Remember
we
what we said before the break? What is it that we're doing now? Or what is it that we're going to do?
Discuss
The
the
picture
story.
book.
No, but we cannot discuss something unless we have read
We're
the
going to
text,
read
right?
the tale.
Which would I would
Yes.
like you to go to the folder. Just to remember the folder. I shared the link. Go and go to the Tale of Peter Rabbit, the text itself. I'll go now.
I finished, doctor. I read it in the break.
Okay. Was it long? I mean, I don't think it was long, Alia, right?
No, no, no,
Mm,
it's very short.
nice. Which is very encouraging, and this is actually what I want you to do. Let's read it on our own, of course. Download it first and then open it and start reading it. Can we do that? If you have started, raise your hands. I would like everyone to read it, okay?
Doctor,
Yes.
معلة عيد, you want us to read what?
You have the link to the folder where the texts are, okay?
Um,
Open the link and go to the Tale of Peter Rabbit, the text, and I would like you to open it and read it now, okay?
Doctor, I already read it in the break.
طيب ممتاز. Obviously, every time you read it, yeah, Zuhur, you're going to come up with new ideas. It wouldn't be a waste of time if you read it one more time. And Alia, I would like also you to read it one more time. The more you read, the more ideas and insights you come out with. Okay,
Okay.
I would like to make sure that everybody is reading now. Raise your hands, everyone, if you have downloaded the text and if you're reading. يلا more. I would like to see more hands. So people are reading. Okay, I'm going to also read along. Okay, are we all done? Have you read it? All? Please drop your hand and raise
Yes.
your hand again. If you have finished reading it, raise your hand. Nice. So I think we all read it. I think we now have substance and content to talk about. We wouldn't have started otherwise. Me talking about it because I read it before and you only listening. Now at least you have an idea what is going on. Okay, so in terms of uh, this is obviously a story that is half text and half images, right? So typical of stories. Do we have like a beginning, middle, and an end? Is it linear? Linear means that it has clear beginnings and it has middle or development, and then it has a conclusion. Can we apply this to this little thing that you have just read?
Yes, obviously.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. Nice. We're all agreed on the fact that it is a story with clear beginnings, middles, and ends. Okay. Um, do we have typical of stories? Do we have a conflict?
Yes.
Okay. So what's
Yes.
the conflict? Well, what's happening? Um, is it only a
Uh,
conflict? Let me perhaps rephrase the question and add to it. Is it only a conflict of principles and ideas, or is it a physical conflict? So, do we have two levels? Do we have an abstract
yes.
level and a physical level to it? Let's talk about the physical conflict that we have.
How to get away from the garden is
Okay,
the
and
physical.
what are the parties to this kind of conflict? Who are
Mr.
involved?
Mark Gregory
Gruger,
and the
uh,
rabbit.
and the
Peter.
rabbit Peter. Okay, so on the abstract level, on the philosophical level, do we have a clash of ideas?
Yes, between the rabbit
Yes.
and his mother.
Okay, طيب. How is this played out in this picture book? What does the mother want and what does Peter want?
Basically, the mother wants her children's safety, and Peter want to.
Mm,
يعني he wants the adventure.
yes.
He wants to
Uh,
discover and he's curious
he wanted what?
to discover the place maybe and he's
Yeah.
curious about
Yeah, he has this element of curiosity to his character, which is not a bad thing unless it spirals out of control, of course. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about the characters. Um, who do we have in terms of characters?
the mother and
Mm,
the beat the rabbit.
Teacher.
mm,
Miss Krieger, Matt Krieger,
mm, mm.
and his the other rabbits, Mopsy and the other I forgot the names.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Also the
good.
mouse, the old mouse.
Mm,
The
mm.
Uh,
cat.
the cat
White
also.
cat.
Okay. Let's perhaps focus more on Peter's household. Who are they?
His mother
The
and
mother
his
and
sisters.
The,
brothers.
we have the mother and the sister. Do we have a father?
No.
No,
He's
No.
died.
Why not? He died. And do we have any indication as how he died? Was it a
yeah,
natural kind of death on bed?
no,
I mean, in bed?
No, no.
Hmm.
He
they
was made into a pie.
Yeah. He was made. This is a very nice way of saying that he was slaughtered,
Health.
right?
Yes,
And he
yes.
was made into a pie or part of a pie, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of what? Tragic,
It's
perhaps.
Yeah.
tragic,
Hmm.
but in a fun way.
I'm not sure. I didn't feel happy about it. It didn't make me laugh.
The mother has said it. It's funny. Like she didn't say he died. She she said he put in a pie by
Yeah, but
Mr.
this is no, this is what we call what understatement. This is what we call euphemism. Euphemism is when you try to beautify something. Something is bad or sad, and you're trying to make it appear less bad and sad. She's not. She's trying to kind of avoid, hurting the feelings of her kids. So
And
she
also,
was
it's
she
the
wasn't
writer's
being
way
funny.
to describe
Hmm.
death without saying it for
Hmm.
children.
Yes. Um, okay. At one point, Mr. MacGruger, whatever his name is, and he shouted out and say, "Thief! Stop the thief!" What do you think of what Peter did? Do you think this is theft?
For Mr. McGregor, yeah, because it's his garden. But for Peter, I think
No,
no,
for
he
us,
did.
let's talk about us. Somebody walks into breaks into your house and
Yeah,
takes something away. Would you justify that?
yes, it's a thief. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So, well, يعني, um, for all the love that we may have for Peter, and obviously he is the weaker side, and we normally feel more sympathetic and empathetic towards the weaker side of things, right? But if we name things the way they are, he is a thief, right?
yes, yes.
Unless we give it another dimension, unless we try to dignify it by saying that perhaps Peter is taking revenge.
It
What do you
could be,
think?
but he didn't went there to revenge. He went to eat, and not like kind of revenge.
I'm giving an interpretation that is not binding to anyone. I'm just uh, um, giving it a different level of interpretation that you may not agree with, which is fine. Okay, well, let's talk more about it. Layan, you're raising your hand.
Yes, I I I also have heard that earlier editions of the Tale of the Rabbit. Okay, the earlier editions, the death of the father is mentioned, but in the new editions, uh, the death of the father, it
Is not mentioned.
it yeah.
Okay, nice. So let's keep to the edition that we have, where the mother is indirectly hinting at the fact that the father was slaughtered and killed and made into a pie, right? Okay, so let's talk about this aspect of the picture book where you have Peter not following what his mother is not following her instructions. What do you think of this?
I think because he's curious, and when you tell someone curious not to go or not to do something, they will do it. So
Yeah,
this is,
then yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Yes. Any more thoughts? Do you feel what kind of impressions do you have about Peter, given the fact that he is um, not very obedient? We may be parents, we may be sisters and brothers of small kids. So, what do you think if you have a small kid who doesn't obey? Do you perhaps try to think of the reasons why he or she is not disobeying, and why he or she is not obeying, or you simply say that he is a rebel, that he is not obeying, he's not polite? Do you give yourself some
Ye-
space and some time? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I give myself some space to think what is the reason behind they think that or they didn't obey my mother rules or words. Because through this I went through this age
Mm,
problems, and I know it's going on in their minds, and what they think and what they want to experience. So most of the time I explain to them to do that or to do not, if they want to be safe and happy.
yeah. Do you think, as parents, I am a parent myself, and some of you are parents, and some of you are, like I said, brothers and sisters of small. Do you think our instructions are all good, are all logical?
No,
No,
because some parents are overprotecting. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
Which is obviously not very good, right?
and not very good for the child
Yes.
environment or thing.
Because the children are very sensible human beings. They are sensitive
Yes,
and they are all more smart than or smarter than we give them credit for, which means that you have to convince them. Your instructions have to be convincing for them to follow them. So if they are
yes,
not, so obviously we haven't uh, uh, um, somebody like Peter would ask himself, why mom is asking me not to go to Mr. McGregor's farm? She only said that there was an accident over there, but she didn't specify.
yes.
Okay.
And that's what happened with my sisters, my little sister, and I came to them and told them, please focus. My mom was told you that to do not that because one, two, three, four. I give them the reason because
Mm,
parents don't have the all the time to explain everything to the children,
yeah.
and also the mood effects on them, so they
Mm,
don't have that opportunity to give them the reasons. So I play the rule to explain the reasons to not do that.
that's nice. I mean, and I hope that, or I wish that every every household has somebody like you, Alia, some kind of intermediary between the mother and the kids, the children. Thank you for doing
Yeah.
this, ya Alia. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
طيب.
Doctor,
So,
sometimes we
mhm,
need to give other options, like we forbid something or say don't do. We need to give other thing that they can do and show them that other things it's allowed to do.
yeah, that's true. Let's try to compare Peter to his sisters. Obviously, not obvious. I'm not going to spoil it for you. What do you think? What are your impressions about the kids? Peter on the one hand and the sisters on the other. Raise your hand. Mhm. Okay. Anybody else other than Zuhur? Zuhur, go ahead.
I think Peter, he think of himself as the man of the house after his dad. So he want to be like brave and know about everything. So that's why he doesn't follow the rules. Not like his sisters who always like listen to their mom.
Yeah, that is partly true. Yeah. Type. Anyway, I'll give you some space to process what we said and to process also what you read. And next time we're going to seriously engage in discussion about the Tale of Peter Rabbit. I would like you, if you have a chance, to go over it and read and focus perhaps more on the pictures and the images. And I would like you to look at the positionality of Peter. Where is Peter every time we have him in one of the images? And in the middle, in the center, on the margins, where? And how we're looking at him. Is he close by? Is he far? And look uh, at how the other characters are portrayed on the page. This is very important. Like I said, I would like you to give the image as much importance as you give the text itself. Very quickly, I would like us to create a WhatsApp group, and I would like to be added to the WhatsApp group. I need somebody to create one for us. One that,
دكتور
yes, very quickly,
هلا
yes.
أنا عملت جروب already واللينك كمان موجود بالشات.
طيب, if you have my number, please add me to the WhatsApp group. If not, somebody in the WhatsApp group may share it with you. And
Yes
I would
please
like,
لأنه أنا ما عندي الرقم.
yeah.
أوكي
Go to
يا
the,
جماعة اللي
go,
عنده شو اسمه رقم الدكتور بليز يرسل على الخاص.
and I need to send you the recording in an hour or so. Again, I would like you to read the Tale of Peter Rabbit, and I would like you to also read the secondary sources on the picture book, and we have all of that in the folder whose link I shared with you earlier. Type on this note and with this item, we come to the end of today's lovely class, and I'll see you next time. So have you all become part of the WhatsApp group of Dania? Before we close the room? I think we're done. Let me stop the recording. Stop the recording.